Okay, so this is my promise. I'm going to make a promise that if I say anything that's incorrect and it's proven to be incorrect with references after I talk to my rabbi and some other, if I have to go to a gadol in order to get the discussion going, that's fine. It'll be taken down. I've always kept that idea. I've always kept an open rebuke with me, no matter who you are. You don't need to be my rabbi to rebuke me. You don't need to be my best friend to rebuke me. You don't need to be somebody that I value your advice to rebuke me. If I'm telling you that pouring gasoline on you and then lighting a match will not set you on fire, by all means rebuke me, okay? You do it in the comments. You can personally message me. If you're on my Facebook, message me, whatever. I don't care. I'm an open book because I'm obsessed with perfecting the things that I know and believe and making sure that they are following Torah. Now, with this said, I have done extensive studies. There was a time, I kid you not, when I did 8 hours to 10 hours a day, every day except for on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I did this for almost a full year, 8 to 10 hours of Torah study among 5 different classes with mainly 2 major rabbi. Now, they were Ashkenazi rabbi. I'm certainly following Sephardi minhag more or less. I am not a Jew at this moment in time. I would love to convert. Um, there are, what else do I want to say? There are people out there who they don't like me. Look, when you come into the public and you make any statement in the public, there is going to be people that you upset and they don't like what you say. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you say, I like chocolate milk. Someone is going to complain that chocolate milk does this and this and this, and they're going to project it on you for saying you like chocolate milk. Now, with that said, I am making a promise that anything that I say on any of my videos, if you prove me wrong and you rebuke me, I will take it down. Period. In the past, I defended Torah really heavily, but in the past I did it in a specific way. I attacked the person's talking points rather than the person, and that got nowhere. That got nowhere. It does no good. I literally was engaged in debates every week with a certain person. His name is James Larisha, and some other people on the Yair and Reuven side of things in that group. I literally pointed out that they can't teach these things, and then I showed them references to where it's wrong, and they got it all messed up. And these people would argue with me for weeks, then they would realize, oh, I'm wrong, the references are right, and they did not put out a video they don't need to reference me. They don't need to give me any credit, but they did not put out any videos saying, hey, last week I did a video on you can do this and that, and I found out I was wrong. They didn't do that. They did not do that. What I found is that some of these people were constantly checking up on me, and when they were proven wrong and they had other people that were saying, yeah, he's right, these references are right, check out the references, you're not arguing with me, you're arguing with Rambam, Maimonides, or whoever I'm bringing up in the reference. These people, you can't attack messages because these people who are false leaders and false prophets will turn around, and when they realize they're wrong, they delete the video. They don't recant anything. They don't put out a video to correct it. They don't even put out a new video talking about the same subject, and now they got different opinions. So I realized, well, that's not working. And then I started to name names, and that does not end well, because anybody can be best friends with anybody else. Just because someone is evil and they rob me doesn't mean that they don't have a best friend. So when I make a video and I'm showing security footage of so-and-so robbing me or doing something evil, guess who it's going to attract and upset? Their family, their friends, because a lot of times these people don't have morals, they don't care. I'm not that way. If you point out that my mom, my sister, my brother, or my best friend did something wrong, I'm going to listen to you, look at the evidence, and if you are correct, and if the evidence is correct, I'm going to get on my friend, my brother, my family member, because there's no such thing as the idea that, oh, well, they're family, you can't criticize and rebuke them. No, if they're family and close to me, I should rebuke them, and you have the right to rebuke me. That's what this video is about. So I'm throwing this out there. There's going to be enemies. There's going to be people that attack me. There's so many fools who try to set up an argument against me, and they try to slander me, that when you look at their report, it contradicts itself. This happens all the time. I'm not new to it. I don't care that people talk bad about me. What I care about is when it's repeated by somebody who doesn't even know me, and they didn't have the common sense to go learn the laws of speech and ask themselves, did I see and hear and witness actual evidence to this bad report? And the answer is always no. The answer is always no, because I'm constantly correcting myself. Like right now, I have many people that rebuke me. I have been rebuked many times. It wasn't even a week ago that I was bringing up 2 halakhic issues, and I was telling my rabbi, well, but doesn't so-and-so mean this? And my rabbi was like, I don't know where you learned that from. No. Well, I went back and I checked the sources, and I was like, did I mishear the Ashkenazic rabbi who taught me? And I did not. I had notes. I even had some of these studies on recordings, DVDs. I'm not mad at the Ashkenazi. I'm not going to name that person. That person is an upstanding, amazing rabbi, but he taught something that's off. This happens a lot. Everybody's human. You know, I'm not going to call that person out. I'm not even mad at him. But the point is that I can be told I'm wrong on something, and you reference it, and you tell me, hey, you're wrong, and I listen. I don't argue. I don't sit there and say, no, but. The only time that I'm going to argue with someone is when I'm literally defending the Torah, and I have the references, and they do not, and yet they are putting their opinion and feeling above the references, and I'm pointing out, hey, you're not arguing with me, you're arguing with a prophet over here. You're not arguing with me, you're arguing with Maimonides. You're not arguing with me, you're now arguing with the king of Israel over here. Yeah, whether it be something that King David of blessed memory said, or Solomon, or you know, or whatever. So you cannot argue against the Sanhedrin. I tell everybody all the time, there are 613 laws that Jews follow. 4 of those laws are literally listed about the Sanhedrin. One of the laws says you cannot mock the Sanhedrin or speak bad about them. Another law says obey the Sanhedrin, follow their word. When they tell you to go left and you argue it's right, it's left and you're wrong, so you better listen to them and follow their orders. There is a law that you are to not disobey the Sanhedrin. So you got a rule that literally says obey them, and a rule that says don't ignore them. And then you got a rule that states that when you are confused, go to the elder rabbi. Who is the elder rabbi? It's not the secular Jew. It's not the Christian named, Billy Bob down the street who's a Gentile, okay? You go to the children of Israel. It'd be better if you seek out a Kohen or a Levite to learn from, okay? There's a lot of reasons why they make some of the best teachers. Find an Orthodox rabbi, learn from them, okay? Period. You don't need me. I'm going to try to throw out references, but this is my promise to you, that anything that I ever say can be rebuked, that I listen. It's not going to be a long argument. I don't know why, but people say that they're like, oh, you love to argue and you're hard-headed. I do love to debate. I do love to argue. But when you are right, I admit it. I've done this many times. I've done this literally to many of my enemies. I don't have an ego about this, because I'm constantly scared to death that the information that I am learning could be incorrect. So while I'm learning this stuff and I'm learning the references and the evidence for this subject, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, well, there could be stuff that I don't know about. And that is a healthy thing. That is what it means to wrestle with God and wrestle with Torah. You have to be able to ask the hard questions and say, but wait a minute, I don't understand this. If this and this means this, then doesn't that mean also this? You'll sometimes find out that you just did not understand some halakhic ruling somewhere or some law, and you weren't implementing it, and you had tunnel vision, and you were looking at a law over here when there's a situation and a law for over there, and then you're like, oh, okay, I get it, I get it. So yeah, this is just my public promise on Rebuke. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care.